Hello, and welcome back to The Philosopher and the Fool.
The Fool and the Philosopher. So, today, I want to do a bit of a Halloween special, a bit of a thing about spooks and goblins, witches and werewolves, vampires and vixens. So just a general, Halloween special. And,
Famous words, vixens.
I don't know what else to put with vampires.
Why don't you say, Nazgul and Nakshter? Nazker. There's a word from vampire that starts with N.
Nazgalashi?
No. Nazkar? Natchka?
Nastusratu?
Well, Nosferatu is like a movie, but there's like Najker or something. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
excellent. Well, that's established.
Vampires and voodoo dolls.
That works better. Vampires and voodoo.
Volcanoes.
Zombies and
Zebras.
Zebras?
Zebras, we're Canadians.
Zebras. Zebra.
Zebras. Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
So, Halloween special.
Yes.
So,
You're just copying everything I say. Or am I copying everything you say?
you're copying everything I say.
I'm copying everything you say.
So, you're a bit on in age, right? You're
Ancient.
Yeah, you're ancient, but you still like dressing up for Halloween.
Yep. My favorite season.
Really?
It's my favorite holiday, yep.
Is it? Really?
Yep.
Why is it your favorite holiday?
I like costumes.
Okay. You can't say candy anymore, can you?
Never was.
Never was?
No, I like costumes.
You like the costumes?
I like walking around at night. I like seeing all friends dressed up in costumes, hanging out. It's great.
You should just go to a Comic-Con.
But is there anything to do at a Comic-Con?
You hang out with people dressed in costumes and walk around looking for free stuff.
Yeah, but I like hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, you could hang out with your friends at a Comic-Con.
I guess, but it's not really... It's like when you go to a movie with friends where you don't really interact with them. You kind of... if you do a movie at home, then you can interact more.
Yeah.
Well, I have one friend, he tells you to be quiet during movies, so it's kind of... But...
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's...
I'm really trying to watch this scene.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. But that's what I don't like about movies, is that you can't interact with people.
Yeah.
And I figure a Comic-Con is centered more around going to booths and stuff, which I'd rather just hang out with people.
I think Comic-Cons are more focused around giant hordes of people.
Although I've never been to a Comic-Con, so I could be totally wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably are. I've been to a sort of Comic-Con, but it's a little backwater town Comic-Con, so... It's...
And yeah, a lot of people, I don't like that either. So
no?
I'm not big crowds, I'm not a fan of.
You're not a fan of big crowds?
That's what yeah.
Because that's where people get... Yeah. People target the big crowds? Was it our mum or something?
No, it's your grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he said not to go to events because that's when bad stuff can happen, and it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have any costume plans for this year?
No, I haven't thought of anything.
You haven't thought of anything? Do you usually throw together last minute or something?
No.
No?
No, I'm bad at thinking of them. I try to think about it for the entire year, and I never come up with anything.
Yeah. Well, I used to have that problem.
I mean, I used to not have that problem. I just go as a ghost. But
that's really easy.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to have the problem not knowing what to go as, and then for the past few years, I've wanted to go as Samus.
Yeah.
However, I've been making the costume, or trying to make the costume for the past few years, and I've started making it just this summer, and I'm still making it. Because it's really hard working with costume making materials that aren't conventional. I've made the Samus costume before, of chicken wire, but that's really uncomfortable. That's the problem I found with costumes, actually. A lot of times they're really uncomfortable.
Well, that's the thing. I used to do a lot of costumes where I'd cover my face or something.
Yeah.
And I've tried to have a rule of not doing that anymore because it gets really uncomfortable after a while. Like having a mask on or something, it's just...
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No.
After a while, because your breath steams it up and...
Yeah. No, you don't cover your face. Don't cover yourself too much. Don't cover yourself too little.
No.
You have to have good balance.
Well, I don't know if you don't cover yourself too little. You just have to have a costume that doesn't cover your head, I find.
Yeah, but I mean, if you cover yourself too little and your costume's delicate, so you can't wear something over it, Actually, don't have delicate costumes. Those are annoying.
What do you mean by that?
Well, one year I made a set of wings to wear on the back of my costume out of like this sort of, I don't know, paper plastic composite.
Yeah.
And they're really delicate. And so I couldn't actually sit down with the thing unless I took off the backpack, which was sort of nice, so I could just take off the wings.
Oh, spooky.
It's not spooky.
Delicate wings.
Doesn't have to be spooky, it's just Halloween.
Yeah, if you want demons, then it doesn't have to be spooky.
Demons?
Yeah, that's the whole point of Halloween is you dress up as scary things to scare away the demons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that's what the jack-o'-lanterns were for.
Yeah, but that's why you also dress up in the costumes, is to scare away the demons.
Isn't it so they think that you are one of them?
No, it's to scare them. They're cowards, demons, famously.
Yeah. Well, why are they even here on Halloween? Why aren't we always dressed up to scare them away then?
I don't know.
It's because All Hallows Night. It's the night where it just happens. It's just a thing.
Well, you think if any day of the year it wouldn't be Halloween, that the evil demons would be around. Because it's like, that's like the day of like the saints, right? That's like the day before the day of the saints. Maybe what happens, right? The saints appear on November 1st.
Yeah.
And so the world is its holiest point then.
Yeah. It's
on
purified.
November 1st. And then it gets weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
So the weakest point is just before they appear again at the end of the year. So maybe that's when the demons can rise.
Yeah, that seems pretty logical, actually.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
They're just popping out like, hey guys, saints about here, let's go corrupt some souls. And
also, it makes me wonder like why we don't dress up for the 12 days of Christmas, because that's when the dead can roam the earth, which you think you'd want to scare up.
Maybe dead aren't scared like demons.
Yeah. Because that's when the Wild Hunt runs around, is the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah. Is it really the 12 days is the Wild Hunt?
Yeah.
Did Wild Hunt traditions come... Didn't they come before Christmas traditions, Wild Hunt?
Yeah, that's the 12 days of Christmas came before Christmas, and they probably weren't called the 12 days of Christmas back then.
Like it was a scary event.
Like Yuletide or something.
You like hid inside during the Wild Hunt.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably. But I don't know. I haven't learned enough about it. It's sort of a German thing where they would.
Well, Germany's pretty scary too.
Or it wasn't even German. It was like a lot of Europe had it. Like the Irish have a Wild Hunt, and the Germans have one, and the
Norwegians probably have one. Or do they have like wild Vikings on a giant boat that chase you around?
I don't know. Like the Westerners had one. Like they had the Ghost Riders.
Yeah.
Like the cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, that was Westerners.
Westerners. You mean the Westerns?
Yeah.
The old Westerners.
Yeah. No, I mean everyone west of us. Which is like people in the Aleutian Islands, and that's about it.
Yeah. And Hawaii?
I guess.
Is Hawaii?
Yeah, I guess.
Or is it really far east?
Yeah, it's probably to the west.
Okay. I'm never really certain.
The line's kind of crooked. It kind of bends around, so.
Kind of bends around to the south.
Yeah. It kind of like, yeah.
So, there's more west?
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough already?
Well, it doesn't matter how far you bend it. It's going to be the same amount.
Oh, my brain hurts.
It's a circle.
But one half of a circle can be bigger than the other half, depending on where you draw the line.
No.
Well, if they're not halves anymore.
Yeah, but then they're not halves. But it goes straight to the poles, so it'll always be half.
I guess so. So, related topic to our tangent. What was your favorite Halloween costume you ever wore?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Well, the ghost was pretty hardcore. I think that was pretty good.
What was your ghost costume? Was it just a sheet with holes cut in it?
Yeah, it was better than that. It was
Was it a sheet with holes cut in it with cranberry stains on it?
No, it wasn't a sheet. It was garden fabric.
Oh, garden. Ooh, that's actually pretty good.
So it's like gauzy sort of thing. It covers...
yeah, it looks like you're covering sort of ethereal cobwebs.
Yeah. So I wore that one for like 4 years.
And do you have eye holes, or was it just you saw through the material?
Yeah, I think I just saw through the material.
So you really could have just been a lump under a sheet.
Yeah, basically. And I was a pirate once when I was really little, possibly before you were born.
Yeah. Pirates are dangerous to be.
And we went to the hot springs, and I remember, like, they have a restaurant there, and I remember having like a little pistol or something and shooting the other patrons.
I bet they appreciated that.
Well, I was like 3 or 4, so
Okay.
probably didn't mind.
Yeah, probably.
I just remember kind of pointing at them like, meh.
I remember
Pew, pew.
the 1 year I went as a pirate, I wore a belt that someone had cut really short and then punched more holes into, and I wore it really tight for some reason. And so I was basically wearing a corset around belt because it rode up my hips. So I was like a little kid, so it was just around my stomach. And it's trying to hold this giant shirt on. So I don't have fond memories dressing up as a pirate ever. I remember also dressing up as a ninja and wearing the face mask so no one knew who I was. And then immediately going to school, they told me to take it off because they needed to know who I was. And I was really upset.
And I went as like, I have this, or used to have, I might have gotten rid of it. This like CSI head for recreating heads with.
Yeah.
And I had a costume where I like had these big robes, and I put like this black fabric over my face, and then carried the head around like it was my head, and so sort of. But the head was really heavy, and my head was covered, and it was hot and uncomfortable. I think my favorite costume ever was my Kirby costume because it was made by our grandma, and it's so well made that. Yeah, it was just really well made.
Yeah, you could wear it multiple times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like Kirby. Like, if I squatted down inside it, it just looked like Kirby standing there in the street.
Yeah, Kirby
awesome.
with a Luigi hat. Or Mario hat.
Yeah.
It was a Luigi hat.
It was Mario.
I thought it was green. No, it's big and green. It's Luigi.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's Luigi Kirby.
Yeah.
So you can throw green fireballs.
Yes, I could cover my head with the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great costume. At one house I went to, me and my friend went up to the door, and I crouched down inside it before he rung the doorbell. And then the guy came out, and he's like, "Here you go," and then, "Oh, and here you go, that's adorable." And he's like, and then he said to my friend, "Make sure your little sister doesn't fall on the steps." And I was just like, I like waddled away.
You should have just stood up and go, "Little sister."
Well, I was like 10.
Still, you little sister. Try to be slightly intimidating 10-year-old voice.
But yeah, then I just like waddled away from the door inside the costume because I was too embarrassed to like.
Yeah. So with the comfortable costumes, I remember the most comfortable costume I've ever wore is my Cat King, I think. Which was, I just wore pointy gloves and this white shirt that looked slightly royal and a vest and cat ears, and I put on some makeup to make my face look catty. But it wasn't just going, I was like, oh, look at me, I'm dressed as a cat, because tons of people that year had little cat ears. Mine effort, like I wore black gloves that were pointed ends, so it looked like I had claws. And I dressed up like a noble. I was actually like trying to be the Cat King from that Ghibli movie, where like the little girl gets saved by a cat, and then, she saves a cat and then comes back later, and it's this man with a cat head who brings her way to the Cat Kingdom to marry her or something.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, talking about before we started this, we were talking about obscure costumes and dressing up as like the most ridiculous things, like some like side actor in an obscure TV show.
Yeah,
like not even the main character, just someone in the background. Like
I dressed up as the cafeteria lady from Doctor Who episode 3.
Yeah, isn't it obvious?
Yeah,
I even got the hair color right and everything.
Yeah, it's so perfectly accurate.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the costume where I had the wings, I was trying to dress up as a character from the Artemis Fowl book series.
You're a leprechaun.
Yeah, as a leprechaun or lower elements police. And there was this group of people who thought I was Green Beetle, which is one of the Blue Beetle's enemies, I think. They thought I was like, oh, it's Green Beetle, because they looked like Blue Beetle, but green. So they kept calling me Green Beetle. I think one of the costumes you've made that was one of my favorites was the Giant.
Oh, yeah, that one was cool.
Yeah. He had this giant costume, which is like this. We have this horrible old man mask, which is like this messed up face that's all mutilated.
Yeah.
And so he's put like a cardboard box over his body, then a cloak over that, then propped up the mask somehow on top of that.
Yeah.
And put
glowing eyes in it.
The glow in the dark stones for no, you had those rings. There's glow in the dark rings for eyes.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. That one was cool.
Yeah.
But it was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I had troubles getting through doorways because I was like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, no.
But it was really cool.
That year I also had a very uncomfortable costume of my Minotaur, which I'd spray painted it, except it was onto a plasticky surface, And so the spray paint chips started falling off onto me, and also wearing the thing is sort of toxic, I think. I was just falling unconscious.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that giant one.
Mm-hmm. No, that was really cool.
I once went as an undercover cop, which I thought was pretty good.
Mm.
I threw a blanket over myself and put on a police hat.
Oh, God. That's so bad.
It was like, I quite like that one.
Yeah.
And
I might have to steal that. 'Cause
I liked your Link costume you did. That was pretty good. With you had the sword and the hat and everything.
Yeah, though my mum made that for me. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, although the problem with weapon costumes, well, in schools they don't let you bring the weapons in, but in just walking around, it's you can lose your weapons or it's hard to sit down.
Well, I had the ring wraith costume the one
I wonder
year.
how knights sat down. Must use stools.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
Wide stances on.
Well,
stools.
also their sheaths actually swung a lot more than like just putting into your belt loop.
Yeah, I guess
They can swing to the side
Yeah.
a lot easier. I remember I had a ring wraith costume, which knew I wasn't allowed to bring a sword, so we made a wooden sword that I could bring.
That was pretty cool sword.
And then my teacher loved the wooden sword so much, he's like, yeah, but it needs a jewel inset to it. So he went in crafts room, got like this jewel from it, and glued an insetted red jewel to it because he just thought it was so awesome.
Yeah,
It's weird. Whenever I think about it, it's weird. Because that teacher he is a nerd, but he isn't. Oh no, mean to say nerd, but he just like really likes fantasy.
yeah.
But you wouldn't expect that of someone like him, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think fantasy's pretty popular. I think fantasy should be more popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of frowned on in literary circles.
Yeah,
but
it's
I think
hard to get your fantasy books published. See?
like, well, that's different. There's a lot of fantasy publishers or agents, but like going through my list from last time, which you didn't want me to go through because you got bored. One thing I wanted to mention was like having read War and Peace and Discworld, I would say that they are like nearly equivalent to your writers. I think, and I haven't read Discworld in a while, so it's not as fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
But they might. I currently think Tolstoy is a bit of a better author.
Yeah.
But if I reread Discworld, I might think that they were equal. Because I think fantasy needs a bit more than it gets.
Yeah.
You are listening to a spooky fool and the philosopher. Ooh.
Do you want me to read a spooky true story I wrote?
Yeah,
I was going to do it for another animation on the channel, but you were saying you might not do animations anymore, you're not sure?
Yeah.
And I haven't actually edited this yet, but you just wanted to go with it. So it's going to be very... You can see... It'll be a learning experience for everyone to see how much better stuff is after it's edited. You can listen to this one, and then you can go listen to the Sky People one, and see how much better the Sky People one is, because I actually edited it.
Yeah, Sky People is one of my animations, if you want to go check that out.
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny. Like, I wrote it, so I mean...
I always think
But
my stuff
I thought-
is hilarious that I write. I'm like, oh, I'm so clever. Hee hee hee.
I thought it was all right, like my writing and stuff, but then I thought your animations were really silly. Like, the sound quality is terrible, but because I did it myself, but beyond that, it's good. All right, so for this one, we're going to need some sort of whistling. All right, so we can either pull up a soundboard or I can just point to you whenever I need a whistle.
Okay, let me practice.
Okay.
Loosen up my lips a little.
Okay, because what I was going to do is when I did the voice acting, I was going to add in whistling after. But maybe like a yeah. Like that could be good. Sure, I'll take that one. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Okay. So, all right. So, it starts as a continuation of the first animation. So, the start's going to seem a little odd, but that's fine.
You had a bit of plan, it seems.
Oh, yeah, I had...
I might have to do this then.
Well, I guess we can always do this, and then I can edit it more, and we can actually...
Yeah, do it in
animate
post and have a proper one. This is like the
Well, we don't have to do it in post even. We can just...
No, I mean not doing post, but I'm saying like read this out, but then actually have the proper thing.
Yeah, make a proper animation after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so I started by going like, welcome back. The second time I saw the sky people. Shh. They're coming. I'll have to draw the blinds for this one. I recommend you do so as well. And like some blind drawing sounds. Like, we've actually drawn all the blinds in this room here, so it's creepier for Halloween.
Well, I'm not really drawing the blinds, more pulled down the rolly thing.
Those are blinds.
Okay.
But I don't feel like spooked yet, so this story will make it spooky. It's good. All right. Back to where we were, so we're still in the moment. Right. I'll have to draw the blinds for this one. I recommend you do so as well. Shapeshifters dwell in the forest where I live. I haven't seen them, but I have heard their cries. Did I pick up?
I'll provide that.
Well, I don't know. Here, I'll make it louder. Alright. Shapeshifters live in the woods where I do. I haven't seen them, but I've heard their cries. In ancient Rome, there were only 10 months. I jump around a lot in this, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We see, and feel free to comment anytime.
Yeah, I will.
We see remnants of this in the months September to December. Each month basically translates to 7th month, 8th month. Well, that's hard to say. And so on. The remaining 60 or so days were a horrible, miserable time where nothing got done, so nobody bothered naming them. We now call them winter.
They actually didn't have winter months named, but they existed?
Yeah. There wasn't months there. It was just 60 days of, like... They called it the intercalary month.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes they called it
Intercalary. Doesn't that just mean in between the calendars?
Yeah. Yeah. So they called it, like, intercalum or something, or they had a name with it. It starts with an M. I can't remember.
See... You think Latin names are cool. However, when you learn the actual translation, they're not. Our modern naming is way cooler than ancient ones.
So yeah, Roman winter ended in January, the month pertaining to Janus, the god of doorways, choices, and Batman villains. See what I was doing there is doing a little clever thing, because Janus was the two-faced god, and
Two-Faced, yes.
Yeah,
ha ha ha. You are so brilliant, Cameron.
Jeez, alright. Just, but I wasn't sure about that. Like I said, I haven't edited this. But I do like to give people credit when I write stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be
you
like
giving yourself credit when you
no,
write it.
it'd be like a little joke for people that got it. But at the same time, it's a bit weak. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little weak. Anyways, so then I wrote, they didn't call it January back then, though. They called it March. March was named after Mars, the god of war, because it was the month when consuls re-entered office. It was also the month when Romans declared and went to war.
Keep on going.
Sorry?
Keep on going.
All right. Eventually, Numa Pompilius, the second king of Rome after Romulus, added 2 more months to the end of the year. And
Because he thought it was stupid having this inter-term month.
Yeah, so he added 2 months to the end of the year. But then everyone got confused and he put them at the start. And they put them at the start instead. And so that's where February and January came from. So, several years later, in the woods behind my home, I first encountered a shapeshifter.
Alright, your continuity is a little screwy here, mate.
What do you mean? Several years after Pompilius changed the Roman calendar.
A little understatement, okay.
I first encountered a shapeshifter. It was in one of the 4 months the Romans would have used if the Eternal City had been founded in Canada instead. I don't remember which one. So you see that's a reference to the fact that it's in summer.
But we have long winters.
Yeah, so we only have 4 months of summer.
Okay.
Or 4 months that aren't spring, rather. See, what I wanted to do was say it was in a month that wasn't winter. But I couldn't come up with a way to say that, like, cleanly and quickly. So instead I went on this rant about Roman calendars.
You could just say it's in a month that wasn't winter. Sometimes less is more.
Yeah, but I gave a rant about winter instead. So
Okay.
there we go. So yeah, anyways. It was in one of the 4 months the Romans would have used if the Eternal City had been founded in Canada instead. I don't remember which one. Ancient Greek for destroyer and Ancient Indian for save me, or possibly injury, share the same or similar homophonic root, which is rictos or ricto. Something like that. I'm far from an expert on languages. It's where we get the word Arctic from now, like arctos, rictos, arctos. But it was originally used to describe an animal. An animal so terrifying and powerful. People were worried that by saying its name, they would summon it and be destroyed. Much like Voldemort, it's difficult to talk about something that you are afraid to name. The Dutch, an ever-industrious people, came up with a clever name. The Brown One. Not quite as terrifying as Sorry, I just zoned out.
He took a little nap while reading. His eyes crossed, a little bit drool came out.
The Dutch, an ever-industrious people, came up with the clever name The Brown One. Not quite as terrifying as Destroyer. But it got the job done. Eventually it got shortened to Brown, or Bruin. A variant of the word may be more familiar. Bear.
Bruin. Bjorn. Oh. Tolkien's clever.
Maybe. I'm not sure if Bjorn means bear. It might. Because the berserkers were bearskins, which is Burr. Berserker.
Oh, and it's Baron. Was his name of the shape-shifting bear?
Yeah, it's Baron.
Oh, right. So it's a little more...
I think his father might have been Bjorn or something. Right. I do not know what ancient supplications our ancestors used to appease the Brown Ones. But common folk wisdom these days is the ringing of bells and song. So I whistled a little tune for the bear as I walked. To let it... No, I'll whistle actually for this part. To let it know I was there. Nah, my lips are dry.
The best whistling ever.
I then heard footsteps behind me in the distance, growing closer. I may have eel turned back. See, that's not edited.
Maybe you'll turn back.
I wrote etiurned as one word, and seen no one. I may have dismissed the sound and kept walking. I cannot recall. All I do recall is that I picked up a stout branch in case the destroyer needed a toothpick when it was done with me. I kept walking, continuing my little tune. Coincidences are unlikely. Sound travels. Sometimes people have the same song stuck in their head. Maybe walking along, you hear someone far off who just listened to the same radio program as you and is belting the same tune. Coincidences can happen. I was making up my tune, improvised whistling of the innocent, I don't want to be eaten by a bear sort. Come on, I don't need the whistling now. The footsteps were humans, not of bears. Two heavy thuds on packed earth. The whistling I heard behind me. Growing closer. Identical to my own song. Was definitely not from a bear. I am certain I spun around at this point. The whistling stopped. No one was there. I turned back, my pacing a little faster now, trying not to show fear, and climbed the final hill before home. The whistling started again. I was nearly at the fence. Okay, I just opened up a second page, so... one sec.
Best scary story ever. I was almost there. The murderer raised his knife. Oh, dang, I spilled my coffee on my pants. Excuse me a second.
Sorry, I think it was getting pretty spooky for a second there, though.
Alright, I want to tell you spooky stories in the tent. Alright, flashlight on her chin, and the murderer crept up behind the dog, and... Hey, is that a butterfly over there? That's a really cool bird. What's a butterfly doing in our tent, guys?
And then... And sorry, it's coming. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, right. I'm certain I spun around at this point. The whistling stopped. No one was there. I turned back, my pace a little faster now, trying not to show fear, and climbed the final hill before home. The whistling started again. I was nearly at the fence. The whistle bear would surely be stopped by a clear boundary marker. A dull throb filled the air. A great rushing and a huge bird flew over my head. A raven, laughing in that hoarse way only ravens can.
Like, pick that up.
Should I do it again?
No, it's fine. Cameron, this isn't the final project I
July.
Make.
This year, I had my second encounter. I was watering the garden outside.
So does this suggest that you thought the raven was the shapeshifter?
It was windy. Very windy. The kind of wind that rushes and hissing, and it isn't so much loud as fills the air with so much rushing there is no room for another sound.
And the rushing of the wind doth make my hair tremble.
It was
in
then.
the rushes.
It was then I heard the first scream. A blood-curdling cry off in the distance, carried on the wind. I spun to the east. Who was hurt? Then another cry, far to the west. I spun again, south. Spun, north, east, west, north, east again. I was in the center of a literal whirlwind of air and a figurative whirlwind of pain. I spun and spun, ears rushing, wind hissing, voices screaming. Then it struck me. Foxes! For those that missed it, here's what a fox sounds like again. Here comes. Here comes. Terrifying, but explainable. If I was surrounded by an army of screaming, angry, bloodthirsty foxes. But I preferred that explanation to any other I could think of. Then I heard the cry in the air abruptly above me, moving faster than a fox has ever run.
Moving foxer than a fast has ever ran.
I told myself later the scrabbling on the roof was squirrels, and the thuds against the windows were flocks of particularly stupid birds.
Is that how it ends or something?
Yes.
Okay.
It was scary. It was really scary.
That scream.
That isn't the best sound effect
I know.
for it, because it's terrifying.
So for me, I guess the Halloween story or spooky. No, it is a Halloween story. I guess for me is So I had a really lame Halloween a year ago. What you doing?
They sound a lot more like a person in person. I think that was the filmer.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Yes. But I had a really lame Halloween. I was just working. I didn't really want to be working. But that's what I did that day. And I worked pretty late in the evening and didn't have any plans, so I just kind of stayed at home and was kind of miserable. And then I was like, okay, I've been watching television, I'm just going to go to bed now. So I went to my room, and right outside my window, I heard that screaming, right as I was closing the blinds. And so I just shot away from the window, scrawled back. And then I heard it 3 more times or so. And I was just so shaken. I was just like, someone getting murdered out there. And it's like, what do I do? What do I do? And so I called the police to say I heard screaming outside my window, repeated screaming, like someone's murdered.
Yeah.
The foxes are, they are unpleasant.
They sound terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I swear that the shapeshift, it was creepy.
Negalashi.
I don't know if I captured this feeling, but I was in a windstorm. Like it was really noisy. The trees were all going. I could barely hear anything except for screaming coming from random places. Ravens flying around, cawing, wings beating. So I think what actually happened was a raven was imitating a fox screaming.
And it was imitating or whistling?
Yeah, but I'm not sure about the walking part. But like, I think what happened was a raven was following me, because ravens can make like any sound. So I think a raven was following me and copying my whistling. And then I think the year later, I think what happened was a raven was copying a fox and flying around in the wind. Which is just terrifying, because it's like... Yeah. Ravens are incredible at imitation. And also, when they fly right over you, like the one did, they're big birds and they're really loud.
Yeah, it's very loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's ravens mimicking. I think the one I had was, I heard this girl talking while I was walking to school.
Yeah.
And it was above me, and it was going back and forth. And then the raven touched down a lamppost. And it was just like opening its beak up and down. Like, it looks sort of comical, like it's making these noises. And it's just like nonsense it's spewing. But it sounded like a woman talking or a girl talking.
Ooh.
And it was really disturbing until I saw it was the raven. Even then, it's a bit disturbing.
Yeah.
It's just like trying out the noises for itself.
I was walking along once and a raven like looked down at me from a lamppost and was like, "No!
Excuse me?
No! Okay, sorry."
Yeah.
But yeah, they're amazing with sounds. And they're like, I wonder if living in the jungle is weird, like with parrots. Like you suddenly just hear like a jaguar and you're like, ah! Oh, there's a parrot.
Or the mima birds.
Or like...
that try to imitate
cockatoos.
No, the actual mima bird, whatever they're called.
Oh, yeah, those
try
super mimicky ones.
Yeah, they imitate chainsaws, or try to. That was also a joke video where they're adding audio to it. But they're actual imitations.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm scared, I like to listen to The Fool and the Philosopher. I think you're listening to it too.
So that was my scary story. There's one here that it just sort of stuck with me, actually. I know you didn't want to read them, but it stuck with me.
Okay, so, no, we can read them.
So how about we do a comparison? Which one was scarier? My story or this one?
We can read them.
Well, just this one. I just want to read this one. Okay. I used to live in a small building downtown. One of the reasons I moved out was the bad neighbor, including this guy in the apartment right over mine. He was a weird-looking fella who mostly kept to himself. Around midnight, though, there was frequently a strange noise that got on my nerves. It wasn't loud, to be fair, but I have really light sleep. So it was hard to get my eyes shut with those little bumping sounds going on and on.
See, Cameron, you're saying this is my work not edited. This is probably like someone put their heart and soul into writing this. And
I don't know. And the other thing is, I think people put a lot into like sound design, like for a podcast, let's say, or editing for the story or something. I think what matters most is the story.
Yeah.
Unless it's really, really poorly written.
I don't put much work into my sound editing.
Right.
I've put less and less since the first one.
But it's hard to get my eyes shut with those little bumping sounds going on and on. It reminded me of high heels walking about, but not as loud, as if the person causing the noises was actually trying to be silent. After a few days, I realized the pattern was always the same, like a recording played over and over with random intervals in between. And that went on for the best part of a year. That went on for the best part of an year. Always the same sequence of bumps, slowly tattooed into my mind, sometimes for hours straight during the night. It was only several years later, helping my daughter with her homework, that I learned a little bit of Morse code. She knocked on the table with her knuckles, and a shiver immediately went through my spine as I recognized that exact pattern.
Ooh.
When I asked her what it meant, she laughed. "It's the easiest one, Daddy," she said. "It's the one to call for help."
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of spooky, eh?
Someone's tapping.
Someone was trapped
at midnight.
Yeah. SOS is interesting. Morse code is dumb, okay? Mm-hmm. Because I was wondering, how do you know when like SOS is like, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Or the other way around, I can't remember. I think it's that one.
Yeah.
Because it'd be quicker. But the weird one is, I don't know how Morse code works to know when words end. Because SOS can actually be interpreted as Let's see.
Save our sausages.
No, because of the way it's... Right, so S is ... O is ... and so that's SOS, right?
Yeah.
But that also works for IWB, VZE, 3B, or V7. They all sound like... So I wonder, like, how do people actually interpret Morse code?
Yeah, well, there's also grid code I've learned about recently, which is you base it on a grid pattern of a 9x9 or something, the tapping.
Yeah.
And it's much harder to translate, but from what you're saying, I think it's more reliable than Morse code.
Yeah.
And also you can just figure it out on your own instead of having to like, oh, what's Morse code? However, in regards to that story...
Actually, it says SOS here is actually... Apparently. So I've been doing it wrong my entire life.
In regards to that story...
I feel like an idiot now.
Oh,
let's hear it. You can play it out for us.
But regards to that story, the tapping...
What? That didn't sound like anything.
Yes, but...
Oh, maybe the triple dot means dash. Maybe
Yeah.
it is ...
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
If that story
I
is
was
true... If that story's true...
Yeah.
What if the guy told police to investigate that area?
I don't think it is true.
Yeah.
I think these are just
Like-
short, scary stories.
This is pretty clever to come up with.
Yeah.
But like, having learning stuff like that, bleh.
Yeah, that'd be creepy.
Well, so some kid told me to tell you that, listening to The Fool and the Philosopher. Don't know what that's all about, but, I guess you are?
Yeah, I've had some spooky dreams.
Ooh, spooky dreams.
Ooh. So my one dream... Oh yeah, by the way, that annoying neighbor, I'd like to give credit, that was written by Confra on Reddit.
Is this the spooky scary Reddit?
No.
Is it the true spooky story Reddit?
No. It's scary short stories.
Ah.
But yes, that was by someone named Confra. And yeah, he wrote that. So
And it got much love.
yes, so give it
More much love.
or not.
Or not.
Don't let me tell you what to do.
Yeah, be your own person.
No.
But don't, because I told you to be. So there. Hi, you can't do anything. Fool!
You can't
I
tell someone to be
control
their own-
you!
You can't tell someone to be their own person.
Yeah, you can. That's how you control them. No
Right.
matter what they do, they'll always listen to you.
So I had a spooky dream. I dreamed.
Ooh, that could have some bad context.
Oh.
That could have some...
I dreamed that we judge people for the content of their character rather than the color of their skin. I dreamed that my daughter could go to school. It was very spooky.
That's how you change that. It's
I had a bad dream.
what's his
Martin Luther King Jr.
yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. says, I had a dream. It was quite the nightmare.
Oh man, no. Oh, that's not right. Right.
Sheesh.
But it was spooky. Right. Yes. Well, let's see. Which dream? No. How about real spooky stories? How about ghost encounters? You ever seen a ghost? I've seen a ghost. I've seen 2 ghosts. Wait, I've seen 3? Have I seen 2 or 3? I've seen 3.
Well, see, here's the problem.
I once dreamed that I had gone into my parents' bathroom, and then I woke up, and I was in their bathroom, and then I fell asleep, and I dreamed I walked back to my bed, and then I woke up, and I was in my bed.
Spooky.
Which I think might be the only time I've ever
Sleepwalk?
sleepwalked.
No, it's sleepwalk. It's in past tense.
I think you once sleepwalked into our parents' room and then peed all over the floor.
That's the dog.
No, because Dad told me something about how he like dove to try to catch the pee before it hit the wood floor or something, and It's just like
Maybe I wasn't asleep. Maybe I just walked in there and did that.
you were really little.
Yeah.
It was last week, I think.
So here, besides that thing that I might edit out.
No, you can't edit out history.
How
How dare you?
It's hard to say if I have seen ghosts per se, because
Oh wait, were you talking about the pee thing?
yes, yes,
I thought you were editing out Martin Luther.
no, yeah, I'll get rid of him from history.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to say if I've seen a ghost, sort of saying that, because I suffer from visual and auditory hallucinations. Or I see shadow men that walk about and are really creepy. So it's one or the other. And I'm going to say that I have hallucinations. I'd much rather have hallucinations than there be, like, I don't know, 10-foot tall men that are really thin, made of darkness that walk about.
Yeah.
So
Those guys are jerks.
So I'm going to I'm going to say that I have hallucinations instead. So I'm not going to say I've ever seen a ghost, and I don't think I've ever even seen a ghost-like thing. The most I've seen is the shadows.
You could give me your top 10 hallucinations.
Top 10 hallucinations. Let's see, 2 cats.
Okay.
So that's like one of the spookiest ones is watching a cat eat food and then watching a cat eat food right next to it, but one of them was real.
Make it a story.
Make it a story.
Yeah, a short story.
Short story.
But show, not tell.
Alright, so, see, I was at a friend's party.
Yeah.
And I was looking down at his cat, cute little cat. And right next to it
Yeah.
was another cat that was exactly the same.
Oh.
And they are both eating with their heads bent down, eating from a bowl. Except the cat on the left, there was no bowl. And when I reached down to touch the cat that wasn't eating from the bowl, and the other cat, so both hands touching them, my hand went through the one cat, and it didn't go through the other.
Whoa.
Which is actually really weird, because most hallucinations, once you actually notice them, pay attention to them, they disappear, I've found, for me anyways. Like, it's usually I see them out of the corner of my eye. However, that cat's like I touched it, hand went through it, and then it evaporated.
Number 9.
No, that's like number 1.
Oh, that's your spookiest one?
Yeah.
All right. What about the one where your friend, you thought you saw your friend, and then you told him to scarper away, and...
Oh, that actually could be a ghost, I guess, or saying... No, I did see someone, and I realized it was a hallucination, and I got pissed because it freaked me out, so I told it to leave the room.
You told him you're not real.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what? And he was offended.
Oh no, my friend was there, right.
Yeah.
I thought my friend was a hallucination, and I said, go away, you're not real, and he was real.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, so my, do you have any... Wasn't there like this big lumbering thing out by the car once?
Oh, those are the shadow men.
Yeah.
They take different forms, like there's been really big ones, there's been like tall skinny ones. They're always tall, or thin, but like the big... It's like I say, it's big and lumbering, like it's really skinny body, and then big shoulders with like a big head.
You're so lucky to hallucinate.
No! No. Or the spiders. The spiders are the worst, actually. So you sit there, and you're like, oh, look, a spider's running across my desk. And that keeps on running across the air, and then it disappears.
I've had so many of those with silverfish.
Really?
Yes. I just silverfish. It's like, bam, bam, bam. Like when I came back from Victoria, also known as Silverfish Land, for the next like 5 months,
Yeah?
silverfish. Just saw them crawling on the walls, crawling on the floor, crawling across my desk, running over my hand. They're just... I hate them.
Yeah, well, that's like hallucinations brought on by trauma, I think.
Yeah.
That's like PTSD or something.
I don't know why they bother me so much, but they really do. They freak me out. It's like
mice.
a phobia almost. Yeah, mice I don't like either.
Seeing hallucinatory mice,
I
and
went-
then you realize they're not hallucinatory, and a little sucker has crawled out underneath your couch, and then sits there, looks up at you, and goes, "Aha, I'm in your house, fool!" And then it runs up against the wall and goes underneath the piano.
I once saw a mouse under my bed, but I didn't see it, and I was really tired and young, and I thought it was a giant spider like running around. But yeah, okay, so ghosts I've seen. So one time, this isn't a ghost so much as a hallucination, this one. But I was in bed, and I saw, like, Adele or something just standing in the corner of my room.
Adele?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure who.
I thought of a really creepy thing to have, like, you're in your bed,
Yeah.
and you have a figure lean over your bed, and they're, like, covered in rags, and it's got, like, no ring wraith except sort of that, like,
I don't
hood
like that
thing.
it's dark in here now.
And now it just, like, yeah, I can see it. I'll just leans over and goes, like, sort of, like, sniffs in.
No, just quiet.
Mm.
And it's not hooded. It's just a face. Like, it's a person leaning over. Like, that's what the night hag, that's what it was. Like, a woman kneeling on your chest, leaning into your, to steal your breath.
I have had a night hag, actually.
I don't even like talking about night hags because they scare me so much. I'm terrified I'll someday have sleep. I had sleep paralysis once.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Well, so the common one for me is it's my blankets wrapped around my head and arms,
Yeah.
and I can't escape.
Yeah.
And I got that a lot when I was younger, because I used to roll up in a blanket.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of like reflecting that I'd wake up and I could actually escape.
Yeah.
But for like 2 minutes, I couldn't escape. However, the night hag I had was I woke up, and there was a shadow just hovering above me, and I couldn't move.
Ooh.
And then I was like, no, I'm going to move, because, like, I'm going to fight if something's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And so basically, like, screaming lying there, and moved my arms up, and as soon as I moved my arms up, the night hag or whatever, nightmare disappeared.
I'll try again later.
No, it's just like moving my arms up and then it's gone. And I woke up.
Oh darn, you woke up in time.
Ah.
Yeah, so yeah, mine, I was in bed, and at the foot of my bed, where there is a window, but it's not actually a window that opens.
Yeah.
But in the hallucination, I don't know what it goes on.
It's you're panicking because you're still paralyzed, and so it
Yeah.
gives you a reason to be paralyzed.
Yeah, or to panic or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be paralyzed. You think?
Yeah, no, it's your body's going, oh no, I'm paralyzed. Okay, rational brain, why am I paralyzed? There's an old woman sitting on me.
Right. That's dumb, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess our minds work pretty well most of the time. Got to give them a break. So, anyways, I one time this is not related. Just my friends of mine stole my laptop. Former friends of mine. They stole my laptop, and then they replaced the background wallpaper with a screaming face, and then they went into the BIOS and tried to replace the startup sound with a scream.
Really?
And so I opened it up in class to give a presentation, and I was like, what is this? And unfortunately, they didn't get the scream off, and I was like, I don't know why it's like this. And because I also thought my laptop had been stolen for a while, because they just took it while I was, I put it in the library and then left the library, and then, yeah. Former friends of mine. Anyways, so I was lying in bed.
Yeah.
Opened my eyes, couldn't move. 2 guys broke in through the window like robbers, and
They had the big sacks on their backs. And
they might have, like, they were full blown robbers. And so I kind of
the the hood with just the eye covering things.
maybe not that, but they were
The striped suits.
yeah, just broke out of the striped suit's weird because that's like a prison uniform, right?
Yeah.
It's like I never got any clothes.
Yeah.
After I broke out of prison.
Or you left prison and they didn't give you the suit that
I
they're supposed to
spent all
give
my
you.
money on domino masks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Actually, that's an interesting thing. They give you a suit when you leave prison, so you have clothing.
yeah, but these guys obviously broke out of prison.
Yeah.
That's why they're still wearing the uniform. But like the guy, like the what are they? The Disney dudes, those dogs. They've been thieves for so long. Surely they've gotten some other clothes,
Yeah.
or they could go around naked at least. I don't know. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. So they broke in, and I was like freaked out. So I tried not to move so they wouldn't notice me. And so it kind of makes sense with that rational thing you're talking about.
Well, interesting thing. Like, you can talk about your ghosts soon.
Yeah.
But we had a situation where we had a substitute teacher on Halloween one year.
Yeah.
And he wanted our whole class to tell spooky stories. And I was the only kid in class opposed to it.
Yeah.
But I was like, fine. No, it wasn't a substitute teacher. It's just a student teacher in there.
Yeah.
So he told the story about how they had this horrible old cat
Yeah.
that eventually died.
Yeah.
And he's kind of relieved it died because this thing was mean.
Yeah.
And it was really mean to him and he didn't like it. Then he woke up in the middle of the night and he just heard this really loud purring and he couldn't move and the cat that was dead was like on his chest and was purring. It's like trying to kill him and crush his chest. And then he woke up from that. And I was just like, dude, you had a night terror.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Oh man, you just made me remember one of the worst dreams I ever had.
Yeah, but I just told him, like, that was a night terror. That's like an actual thing. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. And he actually felt much better about that now that I told him that it was, like, gave him the explanation scientifically, like, no, you're paralyzed. It's night terror. He's much happier That is not his cat's ghosts trying to kill him.
Well, I mean, night terrors could be ghosts trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. But you just reminded me of one of the most terrifying dreams I've ever had. Where I don't remember how old I was. It was like 10 or something. But I was sitting in like the kitchen, and there's a giant window in the kitchen, and our dog Haley came up to the window like she always does to like knock on it to be let in.
Yeah,
like she always used to do.
She'd pop up and look in.
Yeah,
it was really adorable.
Yeah, except in this dream she was dead.
Oh.
And she was like a sort of desiccated zombie dog. It was so recognizably Haley. And like horrifying looking, like this, like, you know,
like Cujo,
skin missing from the face, and like just like eyes kind of like staring at me horribly and terrifying, right?
Yeah.
And it was so scary in the dream. I closed my eyes because I was terrified.
Yeah.
And with my eyes closed, I could still see her coming towards me through the glass.
Ah.
And you just remind me, and it's like the second scariest dream I've ever had.
See, the problem...
I got them ranked. Number 2. Honorable mentions.
All of my scary dreams that I've had, like, I don't really get them anymore, but all the scary dreams I've had, after I wake up, I am no longer scared of them now.
Yeah.
Because I have been able to go like, oh, why was I scared of that? Because a lot of my scary dreams actually aren't scary.
Yeah.
Except for one, which I don't know. It's always stuck with me. That it was very, very scary, and it was after watching the Harry Potter movie where Voldemort got brought back to life.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that. It was when he was the ghost, the thing on the back of Professor Quayle's head.
Yeah.
So, and that just gave me nightmares. And I just remember having a nightmare about Voldemort, and like I can sort of rationalize now, but I still remember it was like the worst nightmare ever. I don't know, like just...
I had a scary dream once where I left my bedroom in the middle of the night, in the dream, and the window of the living room there upstairs, staring back at me, was the Here's My Magic 2 Lich.
With his little claw hands?
Yeah, and it's like all pixelated. And then I ran from that window to our parents' room, and there was that toy T-Rex we had staring in the window.
And you realize you're in a toy house.
That is spooky. But yeah, okay, ghosts I've seen.
Yes.
So, one night, in the middle of like 7 or 8, 9 o'clock, we were we were heading to bed.
Yeah.
And I bent down to the tap as I do to get a drink of water.
Oh, Lightning Man!
Well, it wasn't a lightning man, exactly. But then, there was this green flash. I don't know if you saw it. But there was this green flash that lit up the bathroom, like came from the tap or something. And it was like... And I thought I'd been electrocuted or like hit by lightning. Because I think there might have been a storm going on as well.
There was.
And I thought maybe I was hit by lightning, sort of. Like, not, I don't know what it would be. It would be like a current traveling through that doesn't make any sense. But there was this giant green flash inside the bathroom. It seemed to be coming from the tap. Didn't even tingle. So I don't know. But so that happened. Then we both went to bed.
And then you've been dead for 15 years.
And then I went back to the bathroom later to get a drink of water or something. Had my glasses off, I think. I looked, and I was kind of freaked out because of that lightning for some reason. I'm not sure why. But then I was looking in the mirror at myself, which is bad to do. Yeah. Because, it's spooky.
Yeah. Mirrors are scary.
Yeah. And
they show you yourself.
Yeah. Well, actually, the thing is, because you kind of make eye contact when you look in a mirror. Yeah. Like, you can't help it because it's dead on. And the thing about... you actually hallucinate if you stare into a person's eyes. Yeah. So it can be kind of freaky. Yeah. Actually, this is fun. If you want to hallucinate without any recreational drugs, quite easy. Just get a friend or someone else and stare into their eyes for 10 minutes. Just maintain a constant eye contact for like 10 minutes.
Then they grow a beard or their face turns into a skull.
Or like a dragon. I did it with a friend and her face turned into like this dragon and then like morphed into this little golden glowing boy and then into this like gold dragon. This is a gorilla and I made an animation based on it. It's pretty cool, but it has her face in it, so I couldn't like share it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did it with you one time. I don't know if you were doing back, but I was staring you down, trying to snap you out of a depressed stupor. That doesn't work, but I was staring him down, and his face, the shadows on his face morphed into a skull. Oh. And so I was just staring at like this desiccated skull for about 10 minutes.
Yikes. Yeah, there's a TV series or something called The Woman Who Saw Dragons. It happens to her like instantly. Oh. When she looks at faces, they just like turn into dragon heads. But yeah, anyways, so staring into mirrors is freaky. But anyways, I was looking in the mirror, after like standing up from getting a glass of water or something. I don't remember. And behind me on the wall, there was like these brown collection of shadows, like, you know, the shadows behind me or something, except they were taller than me and like taller than my own shadow because I saw my own shadow or something. And they were like brown instead of black or gray or something. And it was like this man with a cowboy hat or something. And he just tipped his hat to me and then walked along the wall because there was a shadow behind me. And I was watching this whole thing in the mirror. Just walked along the wall and disappeared. And I was like...
I thought it was like a Mexican bandito. I guess I misremember it.
No, it was like a cowboy or something almost. But like, I was terrified to turn around because I didn't want to see it. This is weird. I was almost okay with seeing it in the mirror, but I didn't want to see it not in the mirror.
Well, when you told me that story, I was completely okay with it because there's a ghost that tipped his hat to you.
Yeah,
that's just nice. It's like,
quite
hey,
polite.
Partner, I'm out here.
Like, howdy. And there's a lot of stories actually about someone called Hat Man, and it's like this shadow of a man wearing a hat. And it's like the most common hallucination or something.
Yeah, but Hat Man's not evil.
No, but in all the stories, he's nice.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And so I wonder what it is. Okay, either a lot of shadow ghosts have hats. Or a lot of ghosts have hats. Or a lot of, for some reason, when people see shadows or like hallucinate or something, they see a person wearing a hat for some reason.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is the strangest thing. Like, why not a naked person?
Yeah,
like,
well,
that'd make more sense.
Like, the thing is, like, I think I have, like, seen the Hat Man.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, no, the shadow fingers.
Yeah.
Like, they're terrifying. They always leave me spooked.
Yeah.
However, I've glanced down my eye, and I've seen a person get into a car with a hat, and the car wasn't there and they weren't there. But it's like they were a shadow and it was a car, but it's just like person with a black hat that's made of shadow gets into their car and they look and they're not there. No, the car was there, sorry. It's just they were getting into the car. And I wasn't scared afterwards. Like, seeing that, I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, they have a hat. They're a good person.
No, it's just like I didn't feel that sort of like fear of like, there's a shadow creature.
Yeah, Hatman's weird. But, yeah,
The other two top ghosts. Number two.
Other ghosts.
So you've seen 3 ghosts.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what they were when I said that. Like, I saw the Hatman thing. Well, one time... I don't know if this one was in those 3, and I don't know if it was a dream or not. To this day, I don't know. So
Funny dream, or maybe it wasn't a dream at all. Funny anyways.
Yeah, it was funny anyways.
Little Lord of the Rings reference there.
So I went in. So I was young enough that we had a stool in front of the sink in the bathroom, and I went up to the sink to wash my hands or something at night after going to the bathroom, something like that. After using what's it actually called?
Sink?
No, what are toilets called?
The latrine?
Oh, okay, yeah. After using the latrine, because they're not called toilets. That's the counter around the sink.
Yeah.
So yeah. What?
Dirty bird bath?
The dirty bird bath? Yeah. So yeah, after I was using the latrine and I was washing my hands at the
toilet.
sink. No, this toilet surrounds it. So I was washing
at the sink.
Yes. And so I was doing my toilet.
Yeah.
Which is where you use the sink, I guess.
Yep. But you don't do it in the sink?
No. So, and I looked into the mirror, and I wasn't reflected in the mirror. Instead, there was like this dark mass, kind of shaped like a fire. So you know how fires kind of are like upside down U's?
Yeah.
If that, like a single tongue of flame, sort of, or like multiple, but they sort of form like a squiggly like mound,
like a teardrop.
Except it was like pure black, like a shadow. And it had red eyes, and it was just staring at me out of the mirror.
Excalibur.
And it kind of like came up as I went up, so like my head lifted above the.
You are the son of darkness.
And then it was pretty creepy, but I think then I closed my eyes and I opened them again, and I was back in bed. I was back in my bed, so it might have been a dream.
Yeah,
probably a dream. But yeah,
go to bed, my child. Booka 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 booka.
No, I don't think I've actually seen other ghosts besides the hat tipping cowboy dude. And I say if you get an impression like it was a clear image, it's not. It's like a very smudgy outline of like a shadow. Yeah. So it's not. It wasn't like I saw a person in the slightest. It was a shadow that lifted something up that looked like a hat. It could have been wearing a pizza on its head. Like,
now, spooky things beyond ghosts, though.
oh wait, I have seen another ghost.
Oh.
Okay, there's a ghost dog.
Oh, yes, the ghost dog.
There's this massive black dog that dwells on the road to my best friend's house. And so me and my other best friends, I don't want, one of them's better than the other. They can choose. No, fight. No. Anyway,
Good friend.
both good friends.
Yes.
They're lads. Good
Yes.
lads. Good lad. She's a fine lad.
Yeah.
Right. So, me and my closer friend both have to take the same route to get to the third friend,
Yeah, the farther friend.
the farther friend. So we'll call them far and near.
Yeah. Because when you say closer friend, it's like, he's my better friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So my close friend.
Yeah. My close friend. This is my good friend.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should just say their names. It'd be easier. Is there something? I don't know.
Well, you've mentioned one of their names out of context,
Yeah.
but just you can make up a name for them.
Yeah. Okay. So first one I'll call PJ,
Okay.
and the second one's name I'll call Calden.
Okay.
All right. So I was. So Peter Joe's the closer one. PJ, we'll
Yeah.
call him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Right. Anyways, when we go to our friend's house,
Yeah.
sometimes we have seen a massive black dog,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a story. The close friend and his younger brother.
Yeah.
He was driving a skidoo, and the younger brother was in a sled behind the skidoo,
Yeah.
and getting pulled. And they were driving along, and the dog was running along. He turned over in the dark, and the dog was running along beside him, like trying to bite him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Go faster, go faster!" And it was just like keeping up with him. It freaked him out. And when I've been biking, I've seen it. And one time I was biking back in the dark, and I saw it just standing on top of a hill to the side of the road, just staring there.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and my friend have both seen it.
Yeah.
The far friend has never seen it, and he keeps saying, and it's this massive black dog, like a mastiff, I guess, probably, or like a short-haired giant, heavy-headed dog.
Great
That's like a
Dane?
mastiff, right?
A lab? Or
No,
Great Dane?
it's like bigger than a lab. It's like,
A Great Dane, then.
well, aren't Great Danes like furry though?
Nope.
It's like lab fur, but like big. I think it might be a mastiff. I'm thinking of.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Mastiff. Or Samoyed? No, Samoyed.
No, Samoyeds are.
Yeah.
Samoyeds are bright white.
A big black dog that looks like a...
Yeah, a mastiff, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure what mastiffs look like,
But
but
it looks like a lab. That's really big.
no, it doesn't look like a lab, but it's got the fur like a lab with the
Okay.
short, like
Yeah.
shiny fur. Right. He's never seen it, so it's not a big neighborhood. So we're like, okay, well, who lives around here? Well, that person owns a Newfoundlander, which are huge black dogs. He's like, it's obviously that, and we're like, no, it looks nothing like that dog. And we're like, well, the other neighbor, all their dogs were shot by the police, so it can't be their dogs, and that's everyone that lives there.
Mm-hmm.
So this giant black. So we started calling it the ghost dog because it just. We've seen it. He's never seen it, and it's terrifying and huge, and
I mean,
it
that's,
disappears. And
but in regards to those dogs that got shot by the police, I have been in a situation getting pulled on a sled and had that pack of dogs that got shot come after me.
Yeah,
while I was pulled on the sled.
yeah, no, they've come after our dogs.
And they would attack our dogs as well.
It's a real shame. Like,
yeah, there's a pack of dogs that basically got really abused, and
yeah,
so the police put them down and arrested the guy.
yeah.
Or
Wait, did the police shoot them, or did they go into someone's property and that guy shot them? I can't remember.
So what happened is they went onto someone's property, and he shot 3 of them.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to kill one of his things or something.
Okay.
And then he reported to the police he had to defend his house from a pack of dogs. And they're like, okay, pack of dogs belongs to this person. The police went there. This guy's already shady. He's abusing his dogs. They found other things. So they seized his property and put down his dogs.
Yeah.
And he doesn't live there anymore.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It was kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of spooky. The
So,
dog, anyways.
Once upon a time, there was a fool and a philosopher, and they made a podcast. And now, you are listening to that podcast.
Spooky things that have happened that aren't ghosty
Yeah.
is in the house with the I don't know, ghost cowboy.
Yeah.
It's a very creaky house. It likes settling when heat changes.
Yeah.
And the door, before it latched properly, used to swing open on its own accord and then close.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying. Also, the house is in a valley, and so sound travels really well. And so whenever neighbors drive cars nearby, and our neighbors seem to come to and through their house quite frequently, it sounds like a car is driving up to the house.
Yeah.
And it's not a very pleasant building to be in all by yourself,
Yeah.
because you just hear the creaks of the old building, and it's shifting the odd building on the odd land, and hear people constantly driving up and vehicles idling. And none of them are there.
Well, except once.
Yeah, except
One time in the middle of the night, a guy actually just wandered into the house.
Yeah, we weren't there though.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, we were?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we were there.
Wasn't there also a time where the drunk wandering and we weren't there?
No, that's the guy I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
We were there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he wandered into the house and...
Thought it was his?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so, it's a bit spooky to be in that house alone.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying. But, it's also partly the hallway. It's just really, I don't know, weird.
Yeah.
But, the house we're recording this in has a clock.
Oh.
And so there's several stories about this clock. This clock it's a grandfather clock.
Yeah, it's like a small grandfather
Yeah,
clock.
small grandfather clock that has like fancy hands and a swinging pendulum.
Yeah.
However, its gonging never worked, and so it's unplugged from the battery
Yeah.
because it go off randomly, and so it got unplugged because it got on our mom's nerves. Now, when my best friend's dad passed away, but I didn't know about this. However, during the week he passed away, that clock went off, and I was like, why is it going off? And so it is a little disturbing. And another person, like around another time someone I knew quite well passed away, the clock has gonged, and it's kind of disturbing. And then
Our mom, when her aunt passed away,
Yeah.
she heard it, and
Yeah.
she also heard her aunt talking like, "Hello,
Yeah.
hello,"
and
when her great aunt.
yeah, and when our dog, the night her dog was passing, like she was really sick and dying, the clock gonged. And so,
And it also, remember, isn't plugged in.
yeah, it isn't plugged in, so the sound thing,
Like the clock's plugged in, but
Yeah.
the sound's disabled.
yeah, sounds disabled. So the clock only, I know we're sounding a bit out of the crack body or something, but
And I think it can talk as well, because sometimes you hear people, like, I've heard, like, Cameron, and so I go downstairs, and it's coming from where the clock is, and there's no one around.
yeah. So the clock gongs though when things are dying or have died.
Or when no one else is around.
Well, we were all around that one time with Bluebell.
I don't remember that.
Oh, no, it was like downstairs. It was going off while she's passing
Yeah, I don't
away.
remember that.
Yeah, no. So the bloody thing is disturbing.
Yeah. It's kind of
And-
terrifying. I forgot about that.
That's why Mum... Mum had it plugged in with her aunt. That's why she unplugged it.
Mm.
It's so it wouldn't do that anymore because it freaked her out.
Yeah.
And so... But it's like when my friend's dad passed away, it went off. Also, that was actually kind of a weird case of events because also there's a storm going on and a very big flash of lightning happened and thunder when he passed away. Like, old Yukon, a scene where we live, seemed to be in a bit of distress.
Mm.
Well, the person might have just put it to that, but still, like, it's a scary clock. And I don't, like, that's the one thing, if I was to say, like, something's haunted or supernatural, it's like that clock has wiring that's connected to the ghosts or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's made voices, I swear, before, too.
Mm.
It's a creepy clock.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a pretty nice clock, except when it gongs.
Yeah.
Also, its gonging's not this scary. It's just you never hear it, and that goes dong, dong. And you're like, oh, okay.
What? Do we have a clock in this house that gongs?
Yeah.
Because it's so rare as well.
And now just my association with it going off
Yeah.
with that is kind of like, I don't want to hear that thing gong.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I wonder how much
Coincidence says?
Well, no, I'm just going to like ruin the mood first, but like how one of the advantages of brain
Yeah.
is I don't know,
Creating memories?
well, it's just memories. I don't know about other animals. I assume they're similar, but humans, at least from my personal experience, are incredibly good at memorizing stuff, and like even like when you learn the alphabet ABC. You don't have to learn it for every font. You can learn it once and you're good. So we're amazing at finding patterns. Yeah. So I wonder, like how, like there's always going to be a pattern out there almost, and then you can.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like with that whole thing, like people like, oh, I swear, there's this ghost in my house.
Like every time someone has died, the house has creaked thrice or something. Yeah. Like you can always find something, I guess.
Yeah, or was that other time with the cat thing? Yeah. Someone else was talking about their house that like moves and groans and like talks. It sounds like. Yeah. And I said the school we're in does that. Yeah. It's building settle. Yeah. We're on a permafrost layer. Yeah. It causes buildings to shift. Or another person was talking about like the whole, it's a gas leak sort of thing. Yeah. But no, this case, like I actually looked up, like someone's telling a story about this one place. And I looked it up, and the building had filthy gas pipes. And why there's these phantom flames in the building or something. Yeah. And it's because the gas would leak and then combust. And it's really dangerous. And so they're like telling a story about a building with phantom flames that would like flicker in these certain rooms. Yikes. And what's scary is that there's a faulty gas thing. That's why
random flames.
Or like, no, this house is haunted. No one's allowed to go in there anymore. And like they remember a story and they told me about it, and so I looked it up.
Yeah, that was not surprising.
I don't think people liked me when they're telling spooky stories in that class.
You gotta have some spirit of the mystery.
Yeah, I don't know. I like rationalizing things. Yeah. It makes me feel better about the world.
But can you actually rationalize anything? Like, how about this? What's the most like secure, fundamental thing you can think of? Like math, right?
Math, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what's 1 + 1?
2.
All right. What if you have one cloud and another cloud?
You have 2 clouds.
But then what if they like flow into each other? What's 1 + 1? It's 1.
It's 1 bigger though.
Yeah, but it's still 1.
Yeah. Okay, fine. What's the fundamental? Because you're the one who forced math onto me. So, I was going to say gravity goes down, or towards center of mass. However, things can break that.
There's what you can do is you can make a base assumption and then base everything off of it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually make it
right.
Well, it's right enough, but it doesn't make it
rational.
Well, it is rational as well. It just doesn't mean that you can explain it away. I guess. Like, I'm not sure what I'm getting at with that. Yeah. Like, there's this interest. Like, you know how what your favorite food is probably different from my favorite food. Yeah. And it's sort of like they're both rational, I guess, but they're different. So
we can't have them.
So it's sort of how postmodernism arose, in that it's very difficult once you're aware of other people's opinions
to make anything real.
Well, or to like say, how's any one viewpoint more valid than my own? And so postmodern is like, what is art? Like, art is paint on a canvas, right? Yeah. So who's to say when it's good or not? Like, people like different paintings.
So Karen, this is getting a bit too scary for me.
So well, you seen postmodern art?
Yeah.
So postmodern art, that's the important thing to know about it. It's actually a statement. It's not meant to be a good painting. It's a statement. Okay. Which is that, hey, paintings paint on canvas. How can you say this isn't a painting?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't like, the spirit of the... Oh, is that modern art?
Well, yeah, it's postmodern though. Okay. But the idea is...
I thought it was like this... I don't know, person goes and, it speaks of the strength of the soul and the power of the strokes.
Yeah, that's part of it.
And the splashes of red show anger, and the little green dots show that you flick paint at it with a toothbrush.
Yeah, well, I guess that is modern art, actually, technically. But I think postmodern is similar. But it's just that you can say that, like, the important part of the painting is who made it and what they were feeling or what they're trying to convey, rather than the actual look. But... It's a pretty strong argument, actually.
This is terrible. But so if someone goes onto stage and they're performing arts,
Yeah.
and they drop their pants
Yeah.
and take a dump on a piece of canvas,
Yeah.
you could attribute a bunch of things to that, because at the time they're feeling embarrassment in front of
or
the
you-
crowd, and they're expressing they want to be an exhibitionist, and
Or it
all
could
that
be
stuff.
or it could be a statement about like what is true entertainment. Like you do something and it can be anything. So why not this? Like it's subjective. So it could actually be a postmodern statement. So I guess the modern art's different though.
Is that actual performance? I thought I was just trying to make up a really horrible.
Oh, I'm saying it. I don't know. Someone's probably done it, but
And then hopefully gotten arrested.
but it could be like a postmodern thing.
Like maybe if they advertise, come watch this person do this.
Mhm.
However, if it's just like art show, live artists.
It's a very hard viewpoint to actually disagree with the postmodern one.
Yeah.
I think like you can make like a stand. You can be like there is true goodness, like Plato, right? You can be like there is a divine form of everything.
There is the good.
Yeah, that we move towards.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean he's right. You can, because that's your rational standing. Like there is a good, therefore I can base everything off of this. So in other words, I'm not sure if I even made an argument there, but explain away ghosts if it makes you feel better.
Yes, it does make me feel better.
But yeah, I mean, is a hallucination better though?
Well, we had is she a great aunt or a great great aunt? This one that could do not seances, but she was
She's our great great aunt.
Yeah. So we had this great great aunt.
That was the one that talked to mom.
Really?
when she
Okay,
died.
that actually makes slightly more sense in some ways, I guess. So this woman related to us.
Yeah. Apparently could see the future.
And ghosts.
And given that she was probably devoutly Christian, that makes her a prophet, doesn't it?
Yeah. But
Should have her own little section in the Bible.
she could apparently see ghosts. And she has a story like she moves into this house and there's like scratch marks on the floor or something.
Yeah.
And she went in there and she heard crying and like apparently something bad happened in the house or something, she guesses. And like some woman was abused and trying to escape crawling on the floor. So she sees this ghost. Instead of being a person goes like, ah, and runs away. Or
like,
whatnot.
You're not allowed in here. Go away.
So she says, there's no need to be doing this, like completely like rational kind of sort of grandmotherly or motherly. It's like, no need to be sad. Go on, get out of here. You don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah.
And the ghost disappeared.
Yeah.
And she's done that with other things, like other haunted things. She just, exorcist, that's it. She's like an exorcist or something. She's like, but it's not like the ghost is coming and like raise the cross. It's like, shoo, go on, get out of here, like with a broom chasing out a dog. And so that's my approach to hallucinations. Like, if they're ghosts, real or not, it
seems to work.
It's go away. It's like, no, I'm not accepting you.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like that one guy who was driven, that famous writer who had a bunch of hallucinations and like a huge amount of problems or mental problems. And it's like, I just through sheer will overcame it.
Well, there's Jonathan Nash. He was a mathematician.
Yeah, Jonathan Nash is the name.
He wasn't a writer. He was a mathematician.
Yeah, the mathematician.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm done letting this control my life.
Yeah.
And he like logicked his way out of.
Yeah, it's funny. The movie shows him taking pills to cure it.
Yeah.
And he actually, because the director of the film's mother, I believe, was a very strong proponent of medicine helping you. Because and the director as well wanted people to think that medicine can help you because your doctors are trying to help you.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Nash actually refuses medication and solved it himself. So it's, it's
so
kind of funny.
like maybe it's just like my little like shadow men or hallucinations that have gone from that side of the family with the aunt.
Yeah.
Like maybe she hallucinated too. And so, but like just I use her approach to dealing with stuff like that. It's like go away.
I think it's called like schizoid or something or it's like a schizophrenia is no longer a condition. It's like a group of conditions.
Yeah. And
I think
the thing is like the more nervous I am and the more stressed I am, the more hallucinations come on.
Yeah.
And like stress can cause hallucinations in the first place. However, like just noticing them like and remembering them.
Yeah.
Like the more stressed I am, like the worst hallucinations I ever had was when I was going to school and had a part-time job at the same time that happened during the school day.
Yeah, it was really stressing you out.
Yeah, it was super stressing me out. And also I just recently learned to drive and so I had to drive downtown a bunch.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started having intense hallucinations, and that's when my fear of the dark got to like the worst it'd been for a very long time. Because like actually that was the one thing, like looking out into the darkness, it's not that I see things, it's like I know there's the potential for things to be in there.
Which is creepy, yeah.
And there's this huge entity of basically evil for me. Like at that point in time, like I was looking, I was like, my mom's like, go into the car and get this. Like, I don't want to. So looking out, seeing darkness, like imagining like these things coming into the light that's like shining up from the house, like these shadows, like imagining them walking in, coming towards me as I go towards the car.
Ugh.
And so like whenever I go for car, I like run for it, grab the things and run back in, get into the light as much as possible. Except you have to be into multiple lights, because one light isn't good enough. They can walk into that light and extinguish it. Because it's the overwhelming darkness, you're just trying to slightly hold back with little bits of electricity through wire.
That's terrifying.
Or fire. Like fire is actually better. Like having a large fire and being near. If you're near the edge of the fire and you're in that flickering shadows, they can get you there. But if you're close to the fire, you're safe. But then you're close to the fire. And so it's just...
It's like
it's the potential of the void. It's not the actual darkness.
It's like in Don't Starve when you go insane.
Yeah, no, exact. That's probably they probably based that quite a bit off like people's experience with the fear of the dark, because it's what is in the darkness you cannot see. It does not exist. Once it is known, the fear goes away.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, like watching a video of someone playing a spooky game and like not knowing what the ghost's going to be like. Then seeing that the ghost of this little girl, okay, I know what kind of ghost we're dealing with now. It's slightly better. All right, now what does she do? Okay, she jumps on you and tears out your heart. Now I know the consequences of getting haunted by her.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, it's not fine, but it's the potential for fear that scares me more. And it's...
I've kind of regretted making this room dark now.
Yeah, well... I don't know, certain purpose. But it's just, like... I have always had troubles with the pure dark. However, I love dusk when it's that sort of like gray fades.
Yeah.
And it's like I always want to go walking out in that because it's so beautiful, even if it's cold. Like I really like it. However, I'm scared of it getting dark before I get back, or just the too long shadows. Like I'm scared of those.
Never heard this.
However, I like it because it's like the battle, not the battle, but it's just the light and darkness are mixing and making this really pretty blue color.
I know you're like, man, I can't call you a millennial. Well, I'll just make fun of the younger generation. I know you're a Gen Zer, but there's this thing called dawn, which is similar, but it gets lighter and lighter, that you could go out in if you were awake during that time. But you darn Gen Zers never get up.
Dawn is different than dusk. Dawn is orange and golden. Dusk is blue and purple.
It was pretty blue this morning.
Yeah, well, but I'm saying as a whole, dusk is there's actually like it's different lights. Like one is like getting fiery, and the other is going cold. And oh no, now I sound kind of emo, but I like like that cold color. Like I just find it so beautiful.
Oh, interesting thing. Don't quote me on this, but interesting thing about horror movies and stuff. A lot of people are afraid. Like I'm gonna have terrible dreams after watching this. But the reason that you tend to have scary dreams, and also like adults don't have scary dreams really. Yeah, they're very rare. It's basically because dreams are your way of like figuring out everything that can kill you, everything that's dangerous. So you basically stress yourself a bunch as a kid to get stuff worked out, like figure out what's safe, what's dangerous, all this sort of stuff. So you stop having them when you're older because you have the world figured out. You have a handle on it. You're in control. And so actually watching a scary movie or something probably makes you less likely to have a scary dream. Because you've already gone through that experience for the day. Kind of thing. But don't quote me on that. But
however, when you're going to bed, it's scary.
It makes the nighttime scary. But yeah, it's.
You are listening to the Fool and the Philosopher. How we special thinking.
Someone might have already done this, but doing it well I think would be hard, which is doing a well-lit horror movie, and not a slasher, and it can't be like, oh, it's slightly well-lit, like there's light shining through the windows of a dusty room. Like,
I thought that Doctor Who episode did really good.
Which one?
The one with the clockwork.
That was sort of in the dark, though.
It wasn't really.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's bright day out in a field. Like, the setting...
I thought that the setting was pretty harmless feeling.
Oh, yeah, like...
It was just like this happy, well-lit ball.
No, not like a happy, like... I'm not saying something that's, like, it's good, and then it goes bad, like, with those things showing up. I'm saying, like, a place that... Not in... I guess sort of what people try to do when they put it in a church, but a place be good. Like, a really awesome place.
Yeah.
And then have it, like, the setting's always good. It doesn't turn bad. It doesn't get dark. Have a horror thing in it.
Oh, what? It's just nothing ever happens, but it's scary?
I don't know. Like,
I'm not sure what you mean.
Like, I thought the Doctor Who one was a well-lit, nice place that had a horror element in it.
I guess so, yeah. I guess I didn't I remember them, like, trying to fight in the spaceship, and the spaceship was dark with the clock.
It wasn't really that dark, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought them fighting in the spaceship wasn't that scary.
Okay.
I thought it was the rest of it, but that's personal, I guess.
Yeah, well,
I thought the scariest part was just also a bit of a spoiler for a very excellent episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's
when you looked underneath the table?
No, just the ideas of them. Like, I find that's what Doctor Who's really good at. Its plot writing is kind of like Deus Ex Machina in the Doctor.
It's like, what will the Doctor pull out of his arse this time?
Yeah, but
conceptually.
Well, no, there's a lot of... They're very good at writing fear because it's about the idea rather than any jump scares or scary-looking things or anything.
Cybermen.
Yeah. Well, like, how about... Okay, I'll spoil the clock thing, so... if you wanted to see it, you better plug your ears for the next little bit. But he goes into this room.
Yeah.
The clock is smashed and he hears ticking.
Yeah.
And just that idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so... It's like, why would someone smash a clock and why is there still ticking? Because if they were a clockwork person.
Yeah.
All right, spoilers are done. If I don't know how that works, but yeah, you can listen again because that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I want a horror in a well-lit place. Like, it's a well-lit open day.
Yeah.
But you do horror in that somehow. And you don't do any movie that, what's his name? The Not the Bees guy. Like the Happening or the Birds. Or with the trees, because that's well lit.
M. Night Shyamalan made those movies, I think.
Yeah,
well, the Birds are different.
Oh, no.
The Birds was Alfred Hitchcock.
Sorry, that's sort of slasher horror, though.
Yeah.
No. But,
like, what were the Stepford... Whatever. They were like this really happy looking family, but it was kind of creepy. It was like a strained smile all the time.
Yeah.
Or something. Well, that's kind of creepy. I don't know, like a big... So you mean like a big open clearing, there's a picnic, and...
Yeah. And there's nothing for something to come out. Like, there's no forest for something to come out and get you. Like I'm saying... Like,
and no clouds cover the sun. And
yeah.
The thing about...
It's hard to think of an area, though, that's open where, like, even something walking towards you on the horizon is scary, I guess.
Well, the thing about... Okay, the closest one I can think of is a Stephen King short story called The Dome, where this woman...
You mean the plot to...
The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where this woman, she just basically gets trapped inside this giant dome, and she can't leave.
I mean, equivalent is Dark City, because it's so dark it doesn't matter.
But, like, she goes outside to her farm. Her farm's just, like, cut in half in one place by this dome, basically, and she's just trapped inside. I haven't read it, so... but I've had someone tell me about it. And, so it's very secondhand. But, yeah, that seems like the closest I can think of. Because otherwise, it's very weird, like... And it's invisible as well, this dome. So she doesn't know it's there until she walks into it, kind of thing. But... So that's very difficult to do. I give saying Stephen King, he probably succeeded.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, like, the scariest thing for people is basically the unknown, for the most part. So, yeah, I guess you're rationalizing things. Like, we're very rational creatures, surprisingly. Like, we love explanations for things, because then we're not... Like, Elon Musk had that thing he said, where he said, I used to be scared of the dark until I understood what caused it.
Yeah.
Which is something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Because that's not how stuff works.
Well, for me, I know you probably disagree with this quite a bit, but when I'm scared of the darkness, I want the thing to come out of the darkness into light, like the monster, so I can run forward and punch it.
No, I can sort of get that, because...
I want to be able to attack it.
I don't like the moment of revelation, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather there be nothing.
Mm.
But if there is a monster, I'd rather be able to see it.
Yeah.
But I don't like darkness because it could contain like anything.
You are listening to The Fool and the Philosopher. Blee!
So, this sort of plays into your shapeshifter.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before, just me and you.
Yeah.
So, the one who walks behind.
Yeah. Like from the Stoneheart.
Yeah, Stoneheart.
The book.
I've tried to look for him based in mythology.
Yeah, I tried to. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, it does exist.
Except it's in Dresden Files
Yeah,
as well.
it's in Dresden Files as well. And also Stephen King has... Stephen King
Yeah.
has a thing which is the one who follows.
Yeah.
And it's this, when you're in the cornfield, he follows you...
yeah.
The one who follows you between the rows.
Yeah.
No, the one who walks between the rows. That's what he's called.
Yeah. It's like a scarecrow or something.
It's a scarecrow, except it does the same concept. It does the same thing. So it's like this fundamental fear I think just humans have, like what I was saying, like you heard the footsteps behind you.
Yeah.
Is that feeling that you have when something's walking behind you.
Yeah.
So in the book Stoneheart, I guess, the one walk behind, the actual character, is like this physical guy who walks behind you.
And anything he says, you believe.
Anything he says you believe, and he's a horrible, nasty old thief man.
And you can't see him unless he lets you see you.
Yeah, and
Like-
you will forget him if he wants you.
Like
to
he
forget
comes
him.
across, and he also never stops walking. He
Yeah.
always like paces in place on the ground. And His
Yeah.
hands are always moving.
Yeah.
And like he follows this one woman, and she's like crying a little bit because like something's bad. She had a fight with her husband or something.
Yeah.
He walks up behind her and puts his hand on her shoulder and says to her, "It's not all right, and it never will be."
Yeah.
And it just destroys her.
Yeah, or like this.
She just like collapses on the ground sobbing.
Yeah, or there's this couple going up into an elevator in a hotel, and he gets in the elevator with them, and then he's like, "Ooh, they got some wine." He reaches over, takes the wine, and then he whispers to the man, "You forgot the wine." He's like, "Oh, I forgot the wine," and then the woman with him's like, "You idiot," and slaps him.
Yeah, he just causes like destruction.
And so like this, it's weird though. Like the closest thing I could find to him going back is Hat Man. One
Yeah.
walks behind, except Hat Man's never been evil.
Yeah.
And this thing is this evil entity that follows people around.
Yeah, he's like incredibly
And
evil.
it's this thing that like you can talk to anyone. It's like I felt like I was being followed.
Yeah. And
Yet we don't have a name for it.
Yeah, but like because Dresden Files does that as well
Yeah.
with the one who walks behind. It's the same name even.
Yeah, it's the one who walks behind. Those are demons. They're the outsiders.
Yeah.
They're like things from the outer realm.
Yeah.
What?
No, I don't know. So just careful with the spoilers. The Dresden.
Yeah,
We
but
haven't yet, but it's,
Mhm. So, like I've tried researching quite a bit,
yeah.
and it's almost like he was covered up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Darkness has always been spooky to me.
And so what was the worst though? What I'm getting at here is like trying to talk about this character. Is so when like my fear of the dark is unknown, walking to school, walking to the school bus for me used to be horrible when I had to do it alone. Like you were
Yeah.
sick or something, and Mom didn't want to go with me. She had to go work.
Yeah.
Because we have this is like a really long driveway through the trees,
Yeah.
and you're walking towards a lamppost. Like this is the one source of light, and basically my goal was always to get to there. Even when walking you is slightly better, but when I did it alone, my goal was to get to this lamppost. However, one of the times while walking, I heard the footsteps behind me, like the in the snow. So I'd start running, and I hear them at the same pace, like it doesn't get faster. However, it's the exact same distance behind me, the walking. And get to the lamppost, turn around, there's nothing there. And this happened to me multiple times. And so it's just like clinging to this lamppost, basically like hiding under its light. And I hated walking to the school bus alone.
Yeah.
And Mom never Mom's like, darkness, just go on the darkness. But the one that walked behind was waiting for me in the darkness.
The shapeshifter.
Yeah.
I swear we're haunted by a shapeshifter.
It's not haunted. Maybe it's just its grounds or something. Like Nagalashi. Like we talked about Nagalashi with Harry Potter. Nagalashi.
Oh yeah.
It's just I don't like hearing something walking behind me. And so what's really bad is when someone's sneaking up behind you, or you're walking, you hear someone's footsteps and they're walking behind you,
Yeah.
and you don't look, you just start walking faster, they try to keep pace with you.
And then, it's terrifying.
And then you turn around and swing your arm into their throat, and they get pissed at you that you attack them.
But yeah, it's like the footsteps keeping pace with you is terrifying. It's like someone's trying to catch me.
Well, no, it was worse that it was the footsteps not keeping pace, except they're the same distance behind you.
Right.
So this thing can just walk, and no matter how fast you run,
Like,
it keeps up with you just by walking.
I wrote, as an antidote to the scariness, right?
Yeah.
I've got a poem here.
Okay.
It's an antidote to darkness being scary.
Okay.
This is my experience in the dark. All right. Because I'm now
I've lived in the darkness.
I'm now an art student, so here we go. Well, I'm not, but I mean,
You were.
yeah, sort of, yeah. Anyways, but yeah. Here, just give it. You see what you think.
Okay.
I stumbled through darkness, fears on every side, exposed, alone, my soul in terror cried. I was deafened by darkness, shadows cooed in my ear. Succumb, despair, you are your deepest fear. Then I laughed at darkness and called into the night. Coward, charlatan, I do not need the light. I found peace within darkness. I danced through blackest dread. I embraced the shadow. It fled.
So you wrote this.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've quoted this poem, The Darkness Fled.
Yeah.
Like misquote, but I've quoted that thinking that it's like some famous poem. That's something for you.
No,
Like I think that's a very good poem. Like it's like one of those, could be like one of them famous ones. Like I'm going to say that nothing compares to this thing as poems, which is I'm the captain of my ship. I am something in my soul.
Invictus?
Yeah, Invictus. Like I've found no other poem has quite compared to me as Invictus.
No matter how straight the gate, no matter how charged my scroll, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Yeah.
There's 3 other verses, I think.
Yeah.
But before that's the last verse.
Yeah, that's
The poem means indomitable or invincible.
yeah, like that's I think the most strong poem for me is that one. But like yours is a pretty good poem.
Huh. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
But no, what I like, I think the thing in it is I've found sometimes it can be the fear of darkness can be exhilarating in some ways.
Yeah.
Like if you embrace it, you're still afraid, but you're winning. I don't know what the
one of the things for me was in this room when I was younger, the room we're recording in, it's my bedroom.
Yeah.
I used to be scared of the area I'm near.
Yeah.
Because it's slightly more blocked off than it was. So I'm saying near a closet.
Yeah.
I used to be scared of my hanging clothes in it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, before you were in this room, I had that fear.
Yeah. And so one night I was scared, and I got out of bed, I was looking at it, scared, and I thought I saw shadows in it. And so I walked over and reached in, felt for stuff, and there's nothing there. And I just stood in the center of my room and just looked around at all the darkness, slowly looking at the darkness. And I just started laughing.
Yeah.
Because it was so funny that, this is a scary thing of darkness. And I was like, I can't see in the darkness. There might be stuff here, might not be. There's nothing I can do about it. If there is something evil in there wanting to kill me, it's going to kill me. There's nothing I can do about it. Why am I afraid? Because my fear is something that, I can't stop.
Yeah.
And so it's I can't stop it. But it is even there, and so I just started laughing.
Yeah, there's this Zen saying where it's if something can be done, relax, you can do something. You can solve it.
Yeah.
If something can't be done, relax, you've done all you can.
Yeah, no, it's just I've found that before, I've laughed before, standing in pure darkness or just wandering about.
Yeah.
And it's I was afraid, and then it's no, I'm not. And then I'm just
Yeah, sometimes walking through a really dark path at night. I wouldn't walk directly through the woods still, that would freak me out. But just walking on a path surrounded by woods, I'm freaked out, but at the same time there's something exhilarating about it, where you can sort of laugh and it doesn't exactly get rid of the things, but they're farther away.
Here's one of the problems though. What you said about your worst nightmare ever.
Yeah.
is sometimes in the darkness I'm scared. I close my eyes, so I can't see the
Second
shape.
worst.
Yeah, so I can't see the shapes of the darkness.
Yeah.
But if something can attack you while your eyes closed through vision, that's just not fair.
I know, that breaks all the rules.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like that dream.
Is your worst the veil?
Yeah, well, it's like a bathtub curtain. But yeah,
With the worst evil ever behind it.
the worst. I think basically what the nightmare was, it wasn't that bad. It was like some horror movie thing almost. Like it was creepy, but there was like these billowing curtains coming out of the bathroom. I went into the bathroom. The bathroom curtains were the things that were billowing, like they were way too long. But then they were billowing like, like tattered silk or something, just going. And there was a person behind the curtains. Yeah. Wasn't even that scary of a person. But so that was basically the whole dream.
Yeah.
But somehow, it basically took whatever part of the brain causes fear, I don't remember, and cranked that to max. Like that, I don't think it's possible for me to feel more fear than I did in that dream ever in my life again. Yeah. Because I think that was max setting. Like
because I remember when you told me about it, you were saying like the worst evil possible was behind that curtain.
Basically. Like that's how I felt. It was the most fear, the most evil. And I lay in bed for the next 4 hours, I think, awake, unable to move. I was so scared. And my bed was soaked, drenched in sweat. I was terrified.
A little bit of wee came out.
I don't think so, actually. It's pretty good on that front. But
so clenched.
Like I didn't want to go near that bathroom because it was a dream about a bathroom that does exist. I didn't want to go near that bathroom for the next day. Like I was. It was a dream that actually scarred me. Like it wasn't too bad. Like it went away, so it wasn't too like I wonder if PTSD is different. I don't know why. Because that would be a fear as well, wouldn't? Would fear cause as well? Wouldn't it?
But it's a fear with association that carves into your soul.
And I guess it's more real. Yeah. Like that dream, I can tell myself it was a dream. Yeah. Whereas PTSD, it's real, even if it's the same fear.
Yeah. What I said earlier, much earlier on, is like nightmares anymore. I don't really have them. However, like when I have nightmares, like the dreams try to be scary. Yeah. I like the whole thing. Like I embraced darkness. I laughed at fled. Yeah. That's a thing that happens to me in dreams, where like something scary is happening, I obliterate the scary things. Like that's what I was saying. Like wanting to attack the Shadow Man. Like really cool dream I was having about this really cool building. And then there's these evil marionettes that would descend from the ceiling in this dark room that were trying to kill us. However, they were really confident, but they're invincible. They can only be hurt by fire. And they kept putting out the candles and turning out the lights. And so it started happening where they like lower themselves down, and I was with you there. And we grabbed them, yanked them down from the ceiling, and then dragged them over to the fire, break their limbs, and throw them in the fire so they burn.
Yeah, well, I think that's how people would actually react. Like it's just dreams, nightmares, horror movies. They tend to have almost like a supernatural element of helplessness.
Yeah, but in my dreams, like nightmares, I've gotten rid of that. Like another dream, I was on this bus, and this knife attacker came on the bus, and like just started like basically carving up someone's face. It's really horrible. And I shouted at him like I don't know, like basically like Fusrodal, like a word of power, and changed reality. So the person was never injured. The person who attacked them never existed, and the dream just ended. Like, I obliterated the dream. Or another person, like this monster was trying to attack me, and I just said fire, and fire shot on my hand and burned it. And I was really disappointed that I couldn't do magic for the rest of the dream. That's what it turned into. Like, I had powers to defeat the darkness, and then I could no longer use the powers after darkness defeated, and the dreams were more frustration than nightmares after that. Like, it's just obliterating fear in my dreams.
The one where you said where you got rid of it, that's interesting. Like OCD behavior, I think, is caused by that sort of mentality almost. Like that seems weird to say, but or the idea of undoing, because in dreams you can have the ability to undo things. Yeah. Whereas in life you feel like you should, but you can't. Yeah. So you might see like if I just tap this doorknob 3 times, it will go away, or it won't.
It's not like this was though like when you hear like someone say a word of power, and they can only describe it as a word of power. Like, there's no words that can say it. It's louder than possible. It echoes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally a word of power. Like, I shouted a word of power and changed the universe.
So that's probably like part of the, you know, how adults have way less nightmares. It's probably like a transit. I wonder, it'd be interesting to see a study on people, their nightmares right between when they, like just before they stopped having them kind of thing, to see if it became something where they took control of the nightmare.
Yeah.
Because that'd be interesting. Because that's sort of what it is, isn't it? It's like adults aren't helpless.
Yeah.
So they control the nightmares. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see a study on something like that.
With the marionette, like, this really cool house, but it's kind of creepy. It had this really weird basement that you could, like, imagine, like, veiled ghosts in. And basically went around opening every door, making sure there wasn't something evil in there. Because I wanted to find more evil to destroy.
So yeah, anyways, my book list, right, is going to be...
Yeah, it's I like the idea of being able to get rid of evil.
Or being powerful.
But more so for me, I don't like helplessness, I guess. And I guess that's what nightmares are meant to or do to you.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone likes being helpless.
Yeah. And I don't like playing games where I'm helpless.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like the concept of Lovecraft in a lot of ways.
Yeah, well, that's...
Like, I just don't believe that's possible.
Well, that's why... I think that's why he writes it, is to... He might have been someone like you who hated the idea of helpless, but you have to... It might be a thing where you are helpless, right? And so it's kind of... here's something... Imagine it now. Like, it's terrifying. Like, that's why Lovecraft, in some ways, is the scariest...
Because there's
author.
Nothing you can do.
Because there's literally nothing you can do. Like, that's the foundation of his works.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never enough. Which is why any...
That's why Zen Buddhists are excellent at fighting Lovecraftian monsters.
Oh, they're not, because they can't win. Like,
no, they don't fight.
Yeah, but they lose.
They know they can't win, so they don't.
Well, they still lose, though. But, like, that's why he's so terrifying. Like, he's the most terrifying, I guess, in some ways. It's cosmic horror, I think they call it. Because it's like, you just can't win. I had a point, but it's gone.
Well, that's why you need Superman.
Yeah, but Superman's not... Like, that's why any bit of literature that has Lovecraftian things in it doesn't work if it loses.
Yeah.
Like, it's all powerful. That's it. Or what you can do, like in Call of Cthulhu, I think it is. I didn't read it, but I think I got the plot a little bit. Cthulhu awakens for the first time in 10,000 years or something. Yeah. And this boat captain's like, okay, I'm going to risk myself and take him down with me. So he rams his ship into Cthulhu. And then Cthulhu's like knocked out and goes back into the water. But what actually happened was he just decided to go back to sleep.
Cthulhu's like, brushes off. Like, yawns, gets up, boat rams him. He's like, oh, what's this? Brushes it aside, lies back down in the water.
Yeah, so it's...
I think actually... Like, I know you're saying, like, for it to be Lovecraftian cosmetic horror.
Cosmic.
Cosmic, yes, cosmic horror.
Cosmetic horror is different. That's like plastic surgery gone wrong.
Yeah. But anyways, it can't be beaten.
Right.
However...
Well, someone like Superman in that is actually kind of interesting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you're allowed to beat them if your concept you're going for is cosmic good.
Yeah, or like you can... There is... Yeah, like...
Like cosmic supreme, basically, like...
Yeah, it's like there's a god looking out for you.
Here's Cthulhu, and then like he's this unstoppable horror, and then I'm just going to call like Jesus is there, and Jesus just like go back into the water, and it goes back in because like they're both incredibly powerful, but the good.
Yeah, so it's like a counter message almost. Yeah. In that case.
Yeah, or even.
But like I said with the OCD thing, where where you try to undo. Yeah. Sometimes you have to admit that you can't. Yeah. You can't change events. You can't win. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. There's a. But maybe that's one lesson, right? But the opposite side, maybe there always is something you can. Yeah. Do. You can never bring someone back if they've died, but maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe there's something you can do. It doesn't have. You don't have to succumb to despair. Yeah. You can move.
That's why I was saying Zen monks can beat Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Or I mean, not Cthulhu, but like Lovecraftian horrors.
Yeah.
Is because a lot of time Lovecraftian like maybe they do mess you up. Maybe the ghouls eat you.
Yeah.
However, when they're not, when they're just trying to be scary, the monks don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, so what if there's these things that can ruin your mind with fear? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, actually, given the way he describes it, maybe it does matter because they would like wreck your calm collection. Because,
Well, it's like what's that one book series called with the people with that practice Bushido, the cosmic
Kensho.
samurai. Yeah, Kensho.
Yeah.
Like, what if you threw a Kensho character into a Lovecraftian book?
Well, with Lovecraft though, it like wrecks your mind. Like I don't think the premise that your mind can be overwhelmed exists even.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like we talked about this before.
Yeah.
So, at that point, it's saying like, what would happen if Superman punched Captain America's shield or something?
Ooh.
Like you sort of have this
Mm-hmm.
immovable force. Unstoppable force, immovable object sort of thing.
Immovable force, unstoppable object.
Yeah.
What is Superman's answer?
Superman's answer?
Yeah, he's asked that riddle and he has an answer.
Does he?
Yeah, it's like they want them submits or something.
Or you step out of the way. Like
Yeah.
like the options really are you can have them pass through each other like
Or
neither
they
exists.
call a draw. I can't remember.
You can have them pass through each other like nothing exists.
Yeah.
You can have like a black hole form.
Yeah.
Or you can so that all directions become one.
Mm-hmm.
You can have. I wrote.
A list of what could happen.
No, I wrote an article on this once for some reason. I'm trying like for a website. This might still be out there. I don't remember why or what exactly it was. But there's a guy on YouTube who did a very excellent thing on it as well. Actually, it's interesting. But yeah, so I guess but with like the monk versus the thing, it's almost like who do you want to win?
Yeah.
Like you obviously want the monks to win.
Yeah,
and I think everyone wants the monks to win.
Yeah,
But I think Lovecraft would say that they can't.
Yeah. So, like Lovecraft definitely has his writing style, I guess.
Yeah.
But for me, I like it when, like I said earlier, I love the dusk.
Yeah.
However, I also love when the dawn comes, the light shines out, and the evil is vanquished.
Yeah.
Like, look for me at the dawn of the third day.
Yeah.
And then Gandalf comes riding down the mountainside and kills the orcs with a group of horsemen. I like that. I really like that.
It's a nice message.
Mm-hmm. Like, the whole...
But is it the reality?
I'd like to think it's...
Well, I like... We've moved away from heroic fantasy a lot in everything.
Yeah.
And like fantasy in general has moved, like fake movies, books, everything. Moved away from heroism.
Yeah.
Like the postmodern that I was talking about, even, we've gone away from clear good, like Platonic philosophy. It's kind of gone, like the pure ideal. All that sort of stuff is out the window.
Yeah.
But there's something nice about it.
Yeah. Like,
But at the same time, there's this mod for Crusader Kings called When the World Stopped Making Sense. And I just think it's such a powerful name for anything. Like it's makes the world go back to like 300 BC or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, when good and evil stops being clear.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that.
well, it's like westerns. Like, don't really see this a lot of time. Like in superhero movies, very popular. Like you have to sort of watch the origin story, and then they go through and they overcome the bad guy.
Yeah.
In a western, your steely-eyed cowboy is
going to win.
Yeah, he's the cowboy. He's the hero. You maybe he'll have some hardship along the way, but even then, he's already a hero.
Yeah.
Like the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a great one because none of them are actually good.
Yeah.
But the guy who's called the Good, he goes through some pretty nasty stuff, but he's the good.
Yeah.
So in the end, he wins. And it's just like the whole scene. He's just so it's just so awesome. Like it feels great to have him.
We were talking about today how you're a fool if you trust everyone because then you're naive. You're a fool if you don't trust anyone because then you're cynical.
Yeah.
And what you should do is trust everyone, but be aware that they can betray you, or something like that. So I wonder if horror is to remind us that we can overcome anything, but remember that there
The darkness
are
is still there.
yes, like, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Where you can overcome, but remember the darkness is still there. That doesn't mean everything will go well. That doesn't mean you will always be in control.
Yeah.
But in some way you can. Yeah, I wonder something like that. It doesn't quite mesh, but something along that line.
Interesting thing.
Oh,
I was talking about Tolkien's book with Gandalf showing up.
yeah,
So Tolkien tried to write, I don't know, Lovecraftian-like writing.
yeah,
After he wrote Lord of the Rings, he tried to write this book called Shadow in the East,
yeah,
I think it's called, or something like that. And it was meant to be a book about a rising evil. Like, at the end of the book, Sauron is blown away in a cloud of darkness. Like, he hovers above them, then he gets blown away by the wind.
yeah,
And it's meant to be basically that darkness cloud or something manifests in the east, evil comes back and ends the age of man, and evil wins. Like, that was the book he wanted to write.
yeah.
And when he started writing it, he quit and destroyed almost all work besides, like, his son knew how to write it. Because he hated the concept so much that he didn't even want, like, be notes of it anymore.
Yeah, because it's just so dark.
Yeah, he just, like, it made him depressed. He really didn't like it. He's just like, no, the good guys won. That's how the series ends.
Yeah,
And he got rid of it.
and he's a big fan of Lovecraft, Tolkien. Like he had the nameless things that gnaw at the bottom of the earth. He had the spider that ate the sun.
Yeah, and, like, Tolkien even wrote this thing after writing all the books, which is,
The Watcher in the Water.
the prophecy
Yeah.
of, like, the thing that's above Sauron, Melkor, like the god of darkness, has been sealed outside the edge of the world.
Yeah.
And he finished up a prophecy, which is, like, when the last thing happens, when the last man dies from Middle-earth and comes back to life in the Undying Lands, and all evil ends, Melkor will break free,
Yeah.
and then he'll be defeated. Like, he wrote this prophecy of, like, the ultimate evil breaks free, and then he's defeated.
Kind of like Norse mythology, isn't it? Like Ragnarok is, in the long run, a good event.
Yeah.
And technically already happened because it's all recorded by because the Ragnarok myth is that, like, everyone knows it, right? But it's like the world will end, all the gods will die, and a new true god will appear.
Yeah.
And
Then Christianity's like, hey, that new true god's us.
well, the thing is, Catholic priests wrote all of Norse mythology, so it's hard to say what happened there. Were they writing it word for word, or did they tweak it a little? It's hard to say, but it's interesting because that would suggest Ragnarok already happened as well. Then,
Yeah, but it's just like Tolkien didn't like evil winning.
yeah, because it's like Fenrir will eat the sun, but then no, is it Baldur or someone else? The warrior god starts with T. Odin's son. It's not Thor.
Thanos?
No, it's I forget. Anyways,
Then?
maybe it's Tyr or something. Anyways, Odin will be dead. He'll kill them.
Yeah.
He'll kill the son will kill Fenrir, free the son. The
Yeah.
boy will kill the dog and free the ball of gas.
Yeah.
And then the true god will take over the universe.
And get rid of the snake.
Yeah.
Crushing the earth.
Yeah.
Or something.
So yeah, that was Halloween Spooks. Unless you had more.
No, that's good.
All right.
It's Halloween themed spooks and goblins and
Yeah,
Other-
Vixens, all of them.
all of that.
We covered them all.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the origin of goblins, spooks,
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, we yeah, that shocked me a little.
I guess that's the shapeshifter.
Yeah, but it had this incredible production quality of that shapeshifter thing.
Yeah, that was good.
Read a spooky story about Morse code.
Almost as scary.
Yeah. Talked about some scary things that happen in our life. We got that whole stuff out of the way. All the spooks are done.
Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Well,
Spook.
I
Keep the demons obey.
keep the demons bay and keep the lightness in your heart, but be aware the darkness is there. I guess. I don't know. Any moral themes kind of cheesy.
No, it seems kind of cheesy. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about?
Well, how about just thank you for listening?
Yeah.
And we'll make another one probably.
Yeah. We'll
So-
do spooky Christmas stories or something.
Bye.
I can't read and cough.